So when I lived in Jamaica for a while as a teenager, an adventurous teenager amongst the Rasta on the hillside, and in a grass hut, no less, which I helped to build. The first one was thatched, but the second one, the cook burned the house down, I think. Anyway, it's just a little grass hut. It's really no bigger than a camper. In fact, that would be about the size of it. But anyway, when I was there, I really, are you amazed at how I can't get to the point?
It's been a while since you made a video of mine with me in the car as well.
So, and what does that mean? That you forgot that I can't get to the point?
Yeah.
Well, whatever. So, while I was standing there on this, I took the machete, which was the way they did everything in. That was the only tool that they had. They had a machete and a kitchen paring knife. That was it. No more tools. No shovels or rakes or anything. So they would take the machete and they would stick it in the ground. It's a big flat blade, right? And so they would stick it in the ground and then pull the soil back. And because it was a hillside, that worked. And so now as I did stuff like this, sometimes, like when I was pulling the rake down the slope to get the big clods of grass out, when I was doing that, of course I'm also losing soil further down, which was okay because I wanted the slope to go all the way to the ground. And down there it's all it's my tussock sedge patch. It's for my basket making material. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? And I mean, what is the date, Willem?
April 13th.
April the 13th. We still have snow. Well, Abraham's birthday, we always had a little bit of snow left. And so we did. And we still have a little bit of snow. But anyway, so Willem and I worked together. I went down on this halfway down the slope, this path, and I stood there. The path is only about a foot wide, maybe not even. And of course it's all loose soil, so I'd been walking back and forth working there, and I packed it down a bit. So I took the machete and I put it in like this, and I pulled the soil back, and then Willem was up on the top of the ridge where I'd already leveled it so you can walk. And he would toss a potato down, which would of course hit the side of the machete there most of the time and fall down into the hole. And then I would take it out and I would go up to the spot of the next potato up above it and make a hole there. And when I made a hole there, all the soil came down and filled the last hole. So this is how they garden in Jamaica. So this is my Jamaican garden. Isn't that nice? It's going to be a humongous garden, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to get this crop in, and maybe someone else can help me harvest it. But I hope that there's enough to feed the family. So far, I sat before we started planting it, I sat and cut the potatoes in between the eyes. Now the eyes had just barely sprouted. I've never known them to spray the potatoes that I've bought and tried to use. I've never known them to spray them not to sprout in Canada, here in Ontario. Maybe they do, or maybe they don't. I heard they do, but I don't know. But anyway, so I cut up all they're yellow potatoes. Yellow fleshed potatoes from PEI, Prince Edward Island. It's one of our provinces, which is like a state. So it goes way out into the ocean. Yeah, it's out there somewhere. It's an island. Anyway, so I sat in the chair, which was on the top. We had these plastic chairs. I sat there looking over the crater and cutting potatoes in my lap and putting them back. And so, when I had a bag full of pieces that each had 2 eyes on them, like you take a potato, and if all the eyes are up here, you go between the eyes and you just give them all a big slice. I don't know how important that is, but that's the way I've always done it. And it works for me. So we did it. We planted a whole bag of potatoes, and then Willem got peas in bulk. I don't like buying peas in a little box because they expect you to put one in a row at a time every 2 inches. But that's not the best way to get a